Once upon a time, in a land where the sky was always blue and the flowers always bloomed, there lived a cheerful sunbeam named Sunny. With her golden rays and infectious laughter, Sunny danced across the sky, spreading warmth and joy wherever she went. One day, as Sunny danced her way through the clouds, she spotted a group of children playing in a meadow below. Intrigued by their laughter and smiles, Sunny decided to join in their fun. With a twirl and a giggle, Sunny descended from the sky, her rays shimmering like golden threads as they touched the earth. The children looked up in wonder as Sunny's warmth enveloped them, filling their hearts with joy. "Hello, little ones," sang Sunny, her voice as bright as her rays. "Would you like to dance with me?" The children's eyes sparkled with excitement as they nodded eagerly. They took Sunny's warm rays in their hands and began to dance and spin, their laughter echoing through the meadow like music. As they danced, Sunny's rays grew brighter and more vibrant, filling the meadow with a dazzling display of color and light. The flowers swayed in time with the music, their petals opening wide to bask in Sunny's warmth. For hours, the children danced with Sunny, their hearts filled with delight and wonder. And as the sun began to set and the sky turned pink and orange, they knew that they had experienced a magical moment they would never forget. As Sunny bid the children farewell and returned to the sky, she knew that her dance with them had brought more than just warmth and light. It had brought happiness, friendship, and a sense of wonder that would stay with them forever. And so, as Sunny continued her journey across the sky, she danced with renewed energy and joy, her laughter echoing through the clouds and her rays casting a golden glow upon the world below. For wherever there was laughter and light, there was Sunny, the laughing sunbeam, spreading rays of delight wherever she went. In a tranquil garden at the edge of a bustling village, there lay a Zen sand garden tended by an old monk named Master Wu. With his weathered hands and serene smile, Master Wu dedicated his days to cultivating peace and harmony within the garden's simple beauty. One sunny morning, as the birds sang their sweet melodies and the breeze danced through the trees, a curious young girl named Emiya wandered into the garden. Mesmerized by the intricate patterns etched into the sand, Emiya watched in wonder as Master Wu carefully raked the grains into graceful curves and swirls. "Welcome, young one," greeted Master Wu, his voice as gentle as a whispering breeze. "Are you drawn to the patterns of the sand?" Emiya nodded eagerly, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. "Yes, Master Wu," she replied. "The way the sand moves and flows is so mesmerizing. How do you create such beautiful patterns?" Master Wu smiled knowingly. "The patterns of the sand are like the patterns of life," he explained. "They are created not by force or haste, but by patience, mindfulness, and a deep understanding of the natural flow of things." With a graceful sweep of his hand, Master Wu demonstrated how to rake the sand, showing Emiya how to create gentle ripples and swirling patterns that mirrored the movement of the wind and the water. As Emiya practiced alongside Master Wu, she felt a sense of peace and tranquility wash over her, as if the worries of the world were melting away with each stroke of the rake. She realized that in the simple act of tending to the garden, she could find solace and serenity amidst life's chaos. As the day turned to dusk and the sky painted itself in hues of orange and pink, Emiya sat with Master Wu on a wooden bench overlooking the garden, watching as the patterns of the sand shifted and changed in the fading light. "Life is like the patterns of the sand, Emiya," said Master Wu, his eyes reflecting the wisdom of ages. "It is ever-changing and full of movement, but if we learn to embrace the natural flow of things and find peace within ourselves, we can create beauty and harmony wherever we go." With a newfound understanding of the Zen sand garden and the patterns of life, Emiya bid Master Wu farewell and returned to the village, her heart filled with a sense of calm and clarity. And as she drifted off to sleep that night, the gentle ripples of the sand danced in her dreams, reminding her that in the midst of life's uncertainty, there is always beauty to be found in the patterns of motion and the stillness within. In a quaint village nestled at the foot of a grand mountain, there bloomed a breathtaking cherry blossom tree named Sakura. With its delicate pink petals and sweet fragrance, Sakura brought joy to all who beheld its beauty. Each year, as spring arrived, the village celebrated the blossoming of Sakura with a grand festival known as the Joyful Cherry Blossom Festival. One spring morning, the villagers gathered beneath the blooming branches of Sakura, their faces filled with excitement and anticipation. Music filled the air as musicians played cheerful tunes, and the scent of delicious treats wafted through the crowd. Among the villagers was a young girl named Emi, her eyes shining with excitement. Emi had always loved the Cherry Blossom Festival, with its vibrant colors and festive atmosphere. But this year, she had a special surprise in store for the village. As the festival began, Emi stepped forward, holding a handful of cherry blossom petals in her hands. With a mischievous smile, she tossed the petals into the air, watching as they danced and twirled on the breeze. The villagers gasped in awe as the petals soared through the sky, their delicate beauty creating a mesmerizing spectacle. Children laughed and chased after the petals, their laughter blending with the joyful music of the festival. But the true magic happened when the wind picked up, carrying the petals high into the air. As they fluttered and swirled in the wind, they created a breathtaking display of color and movement, like a symphony of petals dancing in the sky. Emi watched with delight as the villagers danced and twirled beneath the swirling petals, their faces glowing with happiness. It was a moment of pure joy and celebration, a moment that would be remembered for years to come. As the sun began to set and the festival came to a close, Emi knew that she had shared something truly special with her village. The joyful Cherry Blossom Festival had brought the community together in a celebration of beauty, friendship, and the wonders of nature. And as Sakura stood tall and proud, its branches heavy with blossoms, Emi knew that the spirit of the festival would live on in the hearts of the villagers, filling their lives with joy and happiness for many seasons to come. In a lush green meadow nestled between rolling hills, there lived a contented turtle named Toby. While other creatures of the meadow hurried about their day, Toby embraced a slower pace, taking each moment as it came with patience and grace. Toby's plod was slow and steady, his shell adorned with intricate patterns that mirrored the winding paths he traveled. Though some may have considered him slow, Toby found great joy and contentment in the simple pleasures of life. One bright morning, as the sun peeked over the horizon and painted the meadow in shades of gold, Toby set out on his daily plod. As he ambled along the familiar paths, he paused to admire the beauty of a blooming flower or to bask in the warmth of the sun's rays. But as Toby continued on his journey, he noticed a frantic hare named Harry darting past him, his eyes filled with determination as he raced towards an unseen finish line. Toby watched with curiosity as Harry disappeared into the distance, leaving a trail of dust in his wake. Feeling a pang of self-doubt, Toby wondered if perhaps he should try to move faster, to keep pace with the swift creatures of the meadow. But then, he remembered the wisdom of his elders, the tale of the tortoise and the hare. With a renewed sense of confidence, Toby continued on his plod, embracing his slow and steady pace with pride. For he knew that while the hare may run swiftly, it is the tortoise who endures, reaching the finish line with patience and perseverance. As the day turned to dusk and the stars began to twinkle overhead, Toby arrived back at his humble burrow, his heart filled with contentment and peace. For in embracing his true nature and embracing the slow and steady pace of life, Toby had discovered a joy and contentment that could not be rushed or hurried. And as he retreated into the safety of his burrow, Toby closed his eyes with a smile, knowing that he would continue his plod with patience and grace, finding joy in each moment along the way. For in the end, it is not the speed at which we move, but the journey itself that brings us true happiness and fulfillment. In the heart of a serene garden, there stood a magnificent Zen arch crafted from polished stone, its graceful curves reaching towards the sky like the outstretched wings of a bird. This tranquil archway marked the entrance to a place of peace and tranquility, where the whispers of the wind mingled with the gentle rustle of bamboo leaves. Legend had it that whoever passed through the Zen Arch would be transported to a realm of serenity and inner calm, where worries melted away like morning dew in the warmth of the sun. But to truly experience the tranquility beyond, one had to first find peace within. One bright morning, a curious young squirrel named Sora stood before the Zen Arch, her eyes wide with wonder at the beauty that lay beyond. She had heard tales of the Arch's magical powers and longed to experience the serenity it promised. As Sora gazed at the Arch, she felt a sense of peace wash over her, as if the stone itself were whispering words of comfort and reassurance. With a deep breath, she stepped forward, crossing the threshold into the garden beyond. Instantly, Sora felt a wave of calm wash over her, soothing her restless spirit and quieting the chatter of her mind. The air seemed to hum with a gentle energy, and the colors of the garden seemed to glow with a soft, ethereal light. As she wandered through the garden, Sora encountered a wise old tortoise named Taro, who had made his home beneath the shade of a gnarled cherry tree. Taro greeted her with a gentle nod, his eyes twinkling with ancient wisdom. "Welcome, young one," said Taro, his voice as steady as the earth itself. "You have crossed the threshold of the Zen Arch and entered a realm of peace and tranquility. But remember, true serenity comes from within." Sora listened intently as Taro shared his wisdom, his words sinking deep into her heart like roots anchoring a tree. She realized that the tranquility she sought could not be found in the external world, but only by cultivating a sense of peace and harmony within herself. With Taro's guidance, Sora spent the day meditating beneath the cherry tree, her mind quiet and still like the surface of a calm pond. As the sun dipped below the horizon and the stars twinkled overhead, she felt a deep sense of gratitude for the lessons she had learned and the peace she had found within the tranquil garden. And as she passed back through the Zen Arch, her heart filled with serenity and her spirit light as a feather, Sora knew that she carried the essence of the garden with her wherever she went. For the true gateway to serenity lay not in a stone arch, but in the quiet depths of her own soul. In the heart of a lush forest, there stood a majestic willow tree known as the Whispering Willow. Its branches reached towards the sky, adorned with leaves that shimmered like emerald jewels in the sunlight. But it wasn't just the beauty of the Whispering Willow that enchanted the creatures of the forest. It was the wisdom it shared through its rustling leaves. One crisp autumn morning, a curious fox named Felix wandered near the Whispering Willow. He had heard tales of the tree's wisdom and longed to learn its secrets. Approaching the tree, Felix noticed the leaves gently swaying in the breeze, as if whispering to each other. Intrigued, he sat down beneath the branches and listened intently. "Tell us your troubles, dear creatures of the forest," whispered the leaves in a soft, melodious voice. "For we are here to listen and offer guidance." Felix watched in amazement as animals of all shapes and sizes approached the Whispering Willow, seeking its counsel. A timid rabbit shared her fears of the approaching winter, a squirrel asked for help finding food for her family, and a lost bird sought directions back to her nest. With each plea, the Whispering Willow's leaves rustled and danced, weaving tales of hope, courage, and resilience. They spoke of the changing seasons, the importance of community, and the strength that comes from facing challenges together. Inspired by the tree's wisdom, Felix spoke up, sharing his own worries and doubts. He talked about his fear of the unknown and his uncertainty about the future. The leaves of the Whispering Willow listened intently, their gentle rustling filling the air with a sense of calm and reassurance. Then, in a soothing voice, they spoke to Felix. "Dear Felix," they whispered, "the future may be uncertain, but it is also full of endless possibilities. Embrace each day with courage and curiosity, knowing that you are never alone. Just as the forest relies on the wisdom of the trees, so too can you rely on the support of those around you." With these words echoing in his heart, Felix felt a sense of peace wash over him. He thanked the Whispering Willow for its guidance and bid farewell to the forest, knowing that he carried its wisdom with him wherever he went. From that day on, whenever Felix faced a challenge or felt lost, He would remember the lessons of the whispering willow and find comfort in the knowledge that, like the leaves of the tree, he was never truly alone. And in the quiet moments of the forest, he would hear the whispers of the leaves, sharing their secrets of wisdom and guiding him on his journey through life. In a quiet corner of a peaceful garden, there lay a tranquil Zen pebble garden, where the gentle rustle of bamboo leaves mingled with the soothing sound of trickling water. At the heart of this serene space, there resided a wise old turtle named Tao, who tended to the garden with care and patience. Each day, Tao would spend hours arranging the pebbles in intricate patterns, creating circles of harmony that mirrored the balance and tranquility of the natural world. With each stroke of his claw, he infused the garden with a sense of peace and serenity that could be felt by all who entered. One sunny morning, a curious young rabbit named Hoppy hopped into the Zen pebble garden, his eyes wide with wonder at the beauty that surrounded him. He watched in amazement as Tao carefully arranged the pebbles, creating patterns that seemed to dance and swirl before his eyes. "Good morning, young one," greeted Tao, his voice as gentle as the breeze. "What brings you to our humble garden?" Hoppy hopped closer, his curiosity piqued. "I've never seen anything quite like this before," he admitted, his ears twitching with excitement. "What are you doing?" Tao smiled kindly at the young rabbit. "I am creating circles of harmony," he explained. "Each pebble represents a part of the natural world, and by arranging them in patterns, I seek to bring balance and tranquility to the garden." Hoppy's eyes sparkled with fascination as he watched Tao work. "Can I help?" he asked eagerly, his heart filled with a desire to learn. Tao nodded, his wrinkled face crinkling with a smile. "Of course, young one," he said, "but remember, true harmony comes from within. It is not just about arranging pebbles, it is about finding balance and peace in all aspects of life." With Tao's guidance, Hoppy spent the day arranging pebbles in the Zen garden, his movements slow and deliberate as he sought to capture the essence of harmony. As he worked, he felt a sense of calm wash over him, filling his heart with a newfound sense of peace. As the sun began to set and the garden glowed with the soft light of dusk, Hoppy and Tao sat together in silence, gazing out at the circles of harmony that stretched before them. In that moment, they knew that true peace could be found not just in the garden, but within themselves, in the balance and tranquility that comes from living in harmony with the world around them. And as the stars twinkled overhead and the night descended upon the garden, Hoppy and Tao knew that their friendship and the circles of harmony they had created would continue to bring peace and tranquility to all who entered the Zen Pebble Garden, now and forevermore. In a serene corner of the countryside, there flowed a gentle river bordered by lush greenery and towering trees. Along its banks lay the reflective riverbank, where the water murmured secrets of the world, and the whispers of nature could be heard. One bright morning, a curious squirrel named Sammy scurried along the riverbank, his bushy tail twitching with excitement. Sammy loved nothing more than exploring the wonders of the natural world, and today, he was drawn to the tranquil riverbank, eager to discover its mysteries. As he hopped from stone to stone, Sammy paused to gaze into the clear waters of the river. There, he saw his reflection staring back at him, his bright eyes reflecting the beauty of the world around him. "Hello, little squirrel," whispered the river, its voice as gentle as a breeze. "What brings you to my shores on this fine day?" Startled, Sammy looked around, searching for the source of the voice. "Who's there?" he asked, his voice trembling with wonder. "I am the river," replied the water, its voice soothing and wise. "And I have been here since the beginning of time, watching over the land and all who dwell upon it." Sammy's eyes widened with amazement. "Wow," he exclaimed, "I had no idea the river could talk." The river chuckled softly. "There is much you have yet to learn, little one," it said. "But if you listen closely, you will hear the stories of the world whispered in the ripples of my waters." Intrigued, Sammy settled himself on the riverbank, his ears perked up as he listened to the gentle murmurings of the water. He heard tales of distant lands and ancient forests, of creatures big and small, and of the cycle of life that flowed like the river itself. As the sun began to set and the shadows grew long, Sammy felt a sense of peace wash over him. He realized that there was much to be learned from the reflective riverbank, lessons of patience, wisdom, and the interconnectedness of all things. With a grateful heart, Sammy bid farewell to the river, knowing that he would return again to contemplate its mysteries and listen to its stories. And as he scampered back into the forest, his mind filled with the wonders of the natural world, Sammy knew that he had found a place of solace and reflection in the tranquil embrace of the riverbank. In a peaceful forest nestled between rolling hills, there lay a tranquil morning glade, where the air was always crisp and the meadows were adorned with dew-kissed grass. This glade was a haven of serenity and beauty, where nature's symphony played out in the soft rustle of leaves and the gentle chirping of birds. One misty morning, as the sun peeked through the trees, a young fawn named Lily ventured into the tranquil morning glade. With her delicate features and graceful stride, Lily felt at home among the whispering trees and dew-kissed meadows. As she wandered through the glade, Lily marveled at the beauty that surrounded her, the delicate flowers that bloomed along the forest floor, the shimmering spider webs that glistened with dew, and the golden sunlight that filtered through the canopy above. But amidst the beauty of the glade, Lily sensed a deep sense of peace and tranquility, a feeling that washed over her like a warm embrace, filling her heart with a sense of calm and contentment. As she lay down among the dew-kissed meadows, Lily closed her eyes and listened to the sounds of the forest, the gentle rustle of leaves, the soft hum of insects, and the distant call of a songbird. In that moment, she felt connected to the world around her, as though she were a part of something greater than herself. As the sun rose higher in the sky and the mist began to dissipate, Lily knew that she would always carry the memory of the tranquil morning glade with her, a memory of beauty, serenity, and the simple joys of nature. And as she ventured back into the forest, her heart filled with gratitude for the moments of peace and tranquility that the glade had given her. Lily knew that she would return to the tranquil morning glade whenever she needed a reminder of the beauty and wonder that surrounded her. In a peaceful meadow, where wildflowers danced and butterflies fluttered, there lay a single white feather known as the Zen feather. Light as a whisper and delicate as a dream, the Zen feather drifted gracefully on the breeze, its journey guided by the gentle touch of the wind. As the Zen feather floated through the air, it passed by a curious young rabbit named Rosie, with her soft fur and bright eyes. Rosie watched in wonder as the feather danced and twirled above her head, its movements like a graceful dance in the sky. "Hello, little feather," called out Rosie, her voice filled with curiosity. "Where are you going on this beautiful day?" The Zen feather paused in its drift, hovering in the air before Rosie like a silent messenger from the heavens. "I am going wherever the wind takes me," whispered the feather, its voice as soft as a summer breeze. "For I am but a humble traveler, guided by the flow of the universe." Rosie's eyes widened with awe at the feather's words. "That sounds like quite the adventure," she said. "I wish I could drift on the breeze like you." The Zen feather nodded thoughtfully. "You can, dear Rosie," it said, "for the true adventure lies not in the destination, but in the journey itself. Close your eyes, feel the wind on your face, and let yourself be carried away by the beauty and wonder of the world around you." Inspired by the feather's wisdom, Rosie closed her eyes and lifted her face to the sky, feeling the gentle caress of the wind against her fur. In that moment, she let go of her worries and fears, allowing herself to be carried away on the breeze like a leaf on a river. Together, Rosie and the Zen feather drifted through the meadow, their spirits lifted by the joy of the moment. They danced and twirled among the wildflowers, their laughter echoing through the air like the sweetest melody. And as the sun began to set and the sky turned pink and gold, Rosie knew that she had experienced a true moment of Zen, a moment of peace, beauty, and connection with the world around her. For in the end, it wasn't the destination that mattered, but the journey of the Zen feather's drift, floating on the breeze, and the journey of Rosie's heart, open to the wonders of the universe.